in the front. So I guess what was the adjustment to that like? How did you guys adapt to it, and how much do you like playing in that kind of front?
It's a fun defense. It's chaotic. It's active. The linebackers are always active. I mean, we're active regardless, but especially in this 3-3 defense, we're very active. But it was easy switching over to it because the coaches, the way they coached it, and made it and simplified it for us. The extra walkthroughs too after meetings that it helped. So it was a smooth transition.
Our next question for Corey comes from Matt Shardell at Kane Sport. Matt?
Yeah, hey, Corey. So I guess, there were a lot of heroes, so to speak, from the game on Saturday night. You were certainly one of them with that final play. And, I guess coaches were particularly concerned as they watched you go to make the tackle that you were going to wind up with a horse collar. How did you, and you watched the replay and you sort of were just under the shoulder pad grabbing the jersey. Were you actively aware that might, that if you'd gotten a little bit higher, it might have drawn a penalty? And just walk us through that play and sort of what you saw and how you reacted.
Right. Yeah, man. First off, I don't want to call myself a hero. I don't think nobody was a hero Saturday. I mean, everybody just did their job, and when the play came to be made, doing their job, they made the play defensively and offensively too. So that's first off. The second thing was, man, I mean, his momentum was going to the right. I just took him to where he wanted to go, and I know I had him tracked. So by the end, I just made sure my hips were on his hip, and he didn't get on my outside shoulder. So I just took him where he was going, where his momentum wanted to go. And when he tried to come back in the last minute, I just kind of, stopped him with my left arm. But there was no need to pull him and tug him because he already wanted to go that way. So I just took him that way.
Our next question comes from Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan?
Corey, what's the last week been like for you? I mean, you might not call yourself a hero, but a lot of people do. What's it been like? I'm sure people have been talking to you about that.
Right. Yeah, people have, of course, and I've appreciated all of it. But I'm a strong believer of Christ and believer of God, so I just have to give all praise to Him and my family back home for keeping me level-headed and keeping me in the middle, and my teammates also, because you can't get too low or you can't get too high. You have to stay in the middle, stay, in between. But it's good to celebrate, but also you have to have a balance of, it's next. Because like this week we have Virginia. So that's the only thing that's been on my mind, honestly, Susan. But like you said, people have been coming up to me, and I appreciate it. I really do. But I got to play Virginia this week, so.
I definitely want to ask you about Virginia, obviously. Tell me about their offense. And I mean, I was at the game last year and it was insane. I mean, talk about overtimes, 4 overtimes. Any memories from that and, what you got coming forward for you?
Yes, that was the game last year. That was the longest game I've played, I think, in my life as far as the overtimes. And so it's one game I'll always remember. But they're a good team. They're an explosive team. They got good players. We have good players too, but they have good players. The quarterback can run. Their receivers can run. Their running backs are really good. They're a really good team, So I'm excited just to compete. We're excited to compete and just play the next opponent. And that's all it's about. It's that next Saturday, just being able to see a different color jersey across from you and being able to compete and execute everything you've been practicing. So.
That game last year, I was asking Coach Cristobal this. How much does it help having gone through some intense timeouts, for any future, does it give you guys more confidence or how does it help?
I mean, I feel like it always helps for me personally, just to hear that extra reminder of they could run a jet sweep here or maybe like a swap fit with a tight end and then you got to fit this 8 gap. Just hear that extra reminder from our coach. Yeah, I think that could just help just to get that extra bug in my ear another second before I want to go back out. But that's just for me personally, and I think it helps the team defensively also. Just to hear. But some guys don't really like that. I don't want to say not to be coached, but just to hear a lot of stuff. But for me, I like it. And it helps me just get some more reminders.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. No problem.
Next, we'll go to Marcus Benjamin from Keynes County. Marcus?
Hey, Corey, wanted to ask about defensive coordinator Lance Guidry and just the difference that you've seen that he has made, being that you've been here for a few years and you've seen, different coordinators through the years here.
Yeah, man, Marcus, you make me feel like I'm very, very old. It's about a few years, man. It's one of my 4th year, bro. But no, he's a really good DC, man. The thing I like about Coach Guidry is he comes out with the same energy every single day since day one. Since he first got here, been the same guy. And for a guy like that, you got to show the respect for him. He's pretty fair for the most part. He's very fair. He gives everybody opportunity. But the thing I like about him the most is he let his coaches coach, and he's just the DC. So he lets every position coach. He doesn't try to manhandle like I'm. You know what I'm saying? It's a true he lets his position coaches coach, and he stays on us every day, man. He brings the same juice and energy, and you just gotta respect a man like that, So I appreciate it, and we appreciate his aggression going into the game, and I like how he tells us what he's thinking and what he's thinking about doing here, what he's thinking about doing there. It's a pretty good defense to play in, man. It's exciting, and it works happening.
We'll wrap up for Corey with Adam Lichtenstein of the Sun. Adam?
Hey again, not trying to continue the train of making you feel old, but you've been here for a couple of years, and you've been on some teams that have had some skids. How important is it to basically stop bad momentum, like to get a win and snap at it, stop a 2-game losing streak from turning into 3? How much does that help your guys' morale and attitude?
I'm sorry. The question was how bad is it to stop it, or
just how important is it and how much does it help the team's morale to stop a 2-game losing streak from turning into 3 and kind of lasting for longer and longer, because you've been through some bad streaks like that.
Right. I mean, it helps it a lot, man. And it also builds confidence because it shows that you can overcome adversity. And when you get through that, it's like, man, we got through it. We got through it together. But I think it goes back to when I was answering Susan's question earlier, man. You can't get too high and you can't get too low either. You have to stay in between and keep getting better while you in between, because it come up the chips at the end, and that's the thing that I know that we understand now, and we see that, and we have to take it day by day. And again, we can't get too high, we can't get too low. Just got to focus on one opponent at a time and keep getting better, man. That's all it's about. Win or lose, just getting better and taking it one day at a time.
Corey, we appreciate your time as always. Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate you, man.